Hi, students. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about different types or categories of numbers. And I'm really sorry my dog got very excited when I started talking because it's been quiet in my house. So if he barks and growls, he's just trying to play with me while I do this. So I'm going to multitask. Here we go. One thing we talked about was natural numbers. Those are the numbers that you first start counting with. So you can probably remember that it's easiest for babies to understand 1, 2, 3, and on. Okay, those are called natural numbers. You naturally start counting with those or learning. And then eventually you learn whole numbers. And I love that whole numbers have, you know, like a hint with them. They have zero included, and that looks kind of like the whole of a donut or something like that. So whole numbers are everything natural, but they add zero. So I need to tell you that zero is only a whole number. It is not a natural number. So don't get that twisted. Then we have integers. And once upon a time, when you were going through school, you realized there were negative numbers. And they go like this in order. And what I like is it's easy because as we do this, you're building on your past knowledge. So you had natural numbers and then you had whole numbers, but you got even smarter with negative numbers. And then another thing that we talked about today were rational numbers. Ooh, that like fades out. I need to fix this. Sorry, that's kind of crazy. If you Sorry, there you go. If you take a look at rational numbers, they repeat or they terminate. So that would be something like 1 over 3, which if you did that in a calculator, you would find it's 0.3, oops, repeating. So it's got like a little hat over it, or it goes like this forever, or you might see it end up with a 4 in your calculator because they're trained to do that. That is a rational number because it's repeating. I know that we're talking about a fraction here, but fractions are written as decimals. So I use my calculator to help me out all the time. And then another one you might see would be like, this is going to take me a while. The square root, there it is. The square root of, the square root of 4. If I put that in my calculator, I would find that it's really 2, and 2 is like 2.0, which is a natural number, a whole number, an integer. So square root of 4 really is 2, goes under rational numbers. Hi, baby. Chloe just joined me too. Okay, so if they're not rational, the numbers then are anything else. So it's not a repeater and it's not a terminating decimal. This would be classified then as an irrational number. And irrational numbers, like I said, are anything else. My favorite example, the easiest one to remember, is pi. That's such a geeky answer. Here's pi. Okay, another one would be like if I just came up with this. I found this in my calculator. It was 1.0923, no, 4, and that 4 was going to repeat. This does not follow a perfect pattern, so the 4 is really the only thing that repeats. That is irrational. And since I showed you this example, I need to show you another one that might confuse you. It's going to be a rational number. Let's say we have a decimal and it's 3.1234. 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, dot, dot. That means that the 1, 2, 3, 4, this right here, repeats over and over and over. And that classifies itself as a rational number because it is repeating. It looks a lot scarier. You might not pay attention to that. That's rational. Here's another one that's going to trick you. Don't fall for it. 0.080808080808. They might write it like this in your homework. That just means that the 08s repeat. So repeating numbers, irrational. And then last but not least, if you were to put rational and irrational numbers in a group, they'd be considered real numbers. So your homework is going to ask for you to identify certain numbers, like maybe square root of 5. And I'm going to just try it with a pen here, and this might turn out really bad. Oh, not that bad. Okay, square root of 5. If you put that in a calculator, it's going to have something crazy, something irrational, something that does not repeat, does not terminate. So it would be irrational. But it has two groups that it goes under. It's irrational, but it's also a real number. So you need to make sure that all the categories are covered. Another easy one, if I had an integer, like I threw out -2, you could only say that that is an integer. You could only say that it's rational and that it is a real number. It fits three categories. No, it's not a whole number, and no, it's not a natural number. And that really is it. So I hope this made it easier to understand.